They generally are, but you see the UUID is messing it up just a little bit. I guess you can format this to look a little bit better or something of a kind, but don't think it's going to help you all that much. Anyway, let's go ahead and exit this. But before we do, remember please to save it all. So go ahead and right quit. Now that we have fstab up and running, you can clear the screen, and there is an option mount -a, but you're telling the system in such a way to mount everything that is mountable. Let's do that. No problems. Okay, let's go ahead and check whether the Udemy is actually whether the SDB2 is mounted properly. So let's go ahead and enter enter MNT Udemy ls. Hey, guess what? It is. It's right there. This is one way of checking it, of course. You definitely know that it is indeed there. You can also type in mount grep dev sdb2, press enter, and there you go. You can see that it is mounted on MNT Udemy. It says, well, here, let me just select it for you. You'll be able to see it better. Dev SDB2 on MNT Udemy. Let's go ahead and unmount it and just try to do it one more time to see if it's actually working properly, because I'm not sure whether I have left it mounted or not. Let's go ahead and use unmount. Hey, this was brilliant. This was a brilliant error on my part. So Udemy, unmount Udemy, and then mount the -a. Again, we get no errors, but if we just do unmount Udemy one more time and then do mount -a, I'm making these fascinating errors. So I want to unmount Udemy, and then I want to show you something. Let's go ahead and type in, where do I have that command? Yep, there we go. So mount grep dev sdb2. It is not mounted because the system cannot find it. There is nothing to grep out of the mount output, and we can't actually see it there. So it is definitely not mounted now. If we go and enter the Udemy folder now, you can see that it is indeed empty and there is nothing there. If we just say mount -a and press enter, you will see soon enough that it is indeed mounted one more time. So it says hey, and if we use mount grep dev sdb2, there you have it. You can see that it is actually mounted and it is there. So you know for sure that what you've placed in etc fstab, okay, it might not be the best of syntaxes or something of a kind, but hey, you can know that it works and that it doesn't actually give you any errors or anything of a kind. For example, if the folder didn't exist, I've showed you that the error that you'll basically be prompted with an error. It will say, hey, I don't really have that folder at all, so I can't really mount it. There is nothing to mount. The mount point does not exist. Another interesting feature is that at a certain point of time we might want to change certain attributes of our partitions. So let's go ahead and use XFS, since we did format it as XFS. If I press tab twice, you can see that there are quite a bit of options here. Let's go ahead and say underline admin -- help. That's not really what I wanted. Let's do this. Let's do, you see the help bar. The help is not very useful here. I suppose it can be useful in a way, but we can do, I know what I want to do, but I want to show you where you can actually get the useful information from it. So XFS admin. Excellent. So we have the man pages, and here you can read up on XFS files, XFS admin, and how you can actually use it in order to change the attributes of your partition after you have created them, which is not a bad idea. Look, you can even set the UUID of the file system. You can change the label. Is there anything else that I am thinking at this point of time that's interesting to us. No, not really, not at this point of time anyway, but let's just go ahead and exit this. What I really want to show you is how you can actually change these attributes after you have created a partition. So you type in xfs underline admin, and I think that the labels are quite ridiculous, so let's change it to something else. What shall I change it to? Well, no, not Silver Surfer. That would be a stupid name for a partition. Label for a partition. Let's call our partition Earth. I know, it's an original name. Anyway, this will be for dev sdb2, and it contains a mounted file system. Could not process this command. What do you think this is? Well, we have to unmount the system first. As you can see, it's mounted. As we can see this folder here. We need to get out of this folder and stop using it and type in umount and go ahead and type in udemy. Clear the screen, and let's go ahead and attempt xfsadmin one more time. Hey, guess what? The new label is Earth. blk ID. This is too much output. Let's go ahead and clear the screen. So blk ID grep dev sdb2, and you can see that the label is changed indeed. If I type in mount -a, it says cannot find label spoon error. If I type in vim etc fstab and change the label from spoon to Earth, if I just go ahead and write and quit this, now we can go ahead and try the mount -a option, and there you go. It works flawlessly without any errors and without any problems of whatsoever. Mount -a is simply to test out whether everything in whether you can actually mount everything that's specified in the fstab file. One of the ways in which you can verify your configuration there. If there are no errors, it's working out just fine, and you can use you can use mount and then grep and then the device name, so dev sdb2, to figure out where it is exactly mounted and in which folder where the mount point is, and whether it is mounted or not at all. Anyway, I would like to bid you all farewell now, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Welcome all to this tutorial. Today I will open up a chapter on LVM, or Linux Volume Management. Extremely useful. You will soon see what it is, how you can use it, and what is it that it is good for in general. So the good news is that it is not that difficult to master, and the commands are not that complex. Now if we go ahead and introduce a new command, df or disk free, and if we do -h or -h, it will show us the available size on our disk partition. So you see that SDA1, this is a very nice tool, as it tells you what percentage of the disk is occupied. So SDA1 has 43% usage. Apparently SR0 has 100% usage, but that's just the ISO file, so that's correct, don't worry about that. SDB2 has 10 gigabytes of usage, which is pretty much 1%, the partition that we have mounted, I do believe, in the previous tutorial. Now, df you can just use to have a list of these mounted partitions and how much space is actually used on them, or what is the available space, and so on. So you have the size here. So wait, let me just choose this one here, SDA1, or let's choose a normal. Actually, let's take the example of the one that we have created. So this one says dev sdb to, it says size